everyone, this is optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Cyberverse Arcee figure, the one and the only stealth fighter. Now, as you can see, she comes with a snap-on blaster. She is a Legion class, so she's a little bit smaller, but not too terribly bad. You got her technical specs here on the side. See Series 2, number 3, and then of course it says it's a level 1 transformation, so it's pretty easy. Very courageous. You see a courage level here of 9, which is really kind of cool. File card included. File card? What's a file card? Is that her file card? Okay, that's kind of retarded. Nothing there. On the back here it says that Arcee is fast, smart, and always ready for a fight. Her blasters might not pack the punch of the bigger Autobots, but her incredible fighting skill more than makes up for anything she lacks in firepower. You see motorcycle mode, her robot mode, some other characters that are in Transformers Prime. And I find it funny that she's listed as a stealth fighter. I mean, why? Just because she's small? I mean, that seems kind of strange to me, I guess. But there you go. There's the packaging. And the other thing that I really do kind of like is on the Autobot packaging. For Autobots, you see the Autobot characters, which is really kind of cool, whereas the Decepticon figures have the Decepticon characters on the side. So definitely really kind of cool. So there's Arcee. Let's get her open and see how cool she actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Arcee open up out of a package and in her motorcycle mode. And one thing that they talked about is the data card. Actually, this entire section right here is on like a perforation, so you can actually remove this, and if you really wanted to, I guess you can collect these and keep these with your figures. I guess that's a nice way of bringing that back, kind of where people can keep the tech specs. Now that's definitely interesting, and I wouldn't mind necessarily having that come back out with other, say, deluxe figures or Voyager figures or anything like that. That's actually kind of cool. Now, in terms of the vehicle mode, she's a motorcycle, and she's really kind of small. I mean, here you have the entertainment pack version of Jack, and I guess that's actually, I mean, he's probably a little bit too big. Well, no, I don't know. That might be kind of a close scale, I suppose. It's definitely a lot better than the first edition version of Arcee. As you can see, there's a definite size difference here. But at least with this version, she's got a better coloring for her, as opposed to the RID version of Arcee that has that kind of like light blue. I mean, at least this color matches with her actual color a lot better. That being said, she is missing a lot of extra paint details, like, for example, the pink color. I really would like to see that on here. Unfortunately, there's nothing at all. You just got this blue coloring, you got the silver bits, and a little bit more that comes out in a robot mode, and then obviously all the black going on in here. So that's really kind of it. And she kind of has a hard time standing. I don't know if it's maybe just because I don't have these properly lined up, but, well, I mean, sometimes I can get it. As for her weapon, she comes with this little pink kind of blaster, I guess. Again, this is a very rubbery, this is a heavy-duty kind of rubber. You can see that there is some movement in this. It's not as flimsy as, like, say, the deluxe version of Starscream's antenna, but it's also not as rigid as the plastic. It's definitely rubbery, and you can feel it. There's a thickness to it and a roughness to it, which kind of sucks. And then you can just plug these in here on the side, but then the problem is then it makes her way too heavy on the side and she just falls over. So the weapon placement is definitely not very good with Arcee. Now the Transformer, you already kind of saw it. You just remove these and these fold forward, very much like the RID version. And then these arms, or well, this back section here, you split this out, rotate this out just like so. These legs come down, separate them. You rotate this leg or wheel down into the leg, and then you rotate this back and around into the leg, kind of straighten around just like so. Bring the arms down. This section here rotates back and kind of sits right there. And there you have Arcee in a robot mode. Now, it's really not all that terribly bad looking. I really like her face sculpt on this. It's actually really pretty nice. And then you see the Autobot logo that comes out. Actually some really nice detail on her eyes, and she's got a much nicer kind of smirk going on. But again, these big wings, a lot of people will complain about these because they're a lot like the RID one, which, you know, are really kind of big. Now you can take this just kind of tabs in there. You can remove it if you want to, and you can have it like that, but that still really kind of looks goofy. I don't particularly like that. Now, in terms of her articulation, nothing at the head at all. Her arms are on this ball joint, but these arms are really kind of ugly. I really don't like how these are. I mean, they look like they angle back, obviously, and they look like they bend down at the elbow. You can see molded hands in here. Her hips up here are on ball joints, and then she also bends at the knee. So decent range of motion, but just the way the arms look is really kind of ugly to me. I really don't like that. And then this bit right here, this doesn't really tab in all that terribly well. And it actually constantly keeps coming out. I don't know if you can, it just wiggles right out. It doesn't really seem to tab in to anything. Now you see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's little tiny holes there. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of bit that it grabs onto in there. It just kind of frictions in there and holds in there, and that's really kind of unfortunate. Now her blaster, you can take this and you can have her hold on to it. Just peg that into her hand. And again, you have her holding her blaster, but it's kind of angled downward, which really kind of looks derpy. I don't particularly like that very much. Overall, though, I'm really kind of disappointed in this figure. It's not terrible, but it's not very good either. And being one of the kind of main characters in Transformers Prime, you would think that it would get a little bit better of a figure, I guess. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess I'm being a little bit too nitpicky for a $6 figure. So to transform her, just rotate these bits back out. These rotate up, and then you bring that all the way up like so. And then these little bits right here, these come together, and it's kind of a pain to get these arms out of the way. I'm sorry. And then these little bits right here kind of tab together. And again, it's actually kind of a mess putting it all together like so. Angle this back and down, just like that. Fold this section up. And then you can see this little bit right here just pops right out. These rotate down. These rotate down. And these are going to tab together. She's actually really kind of fiddly, and I don't particularly like that. And then just fold these back like so. And here you have her back in her vehicle mode. The vehicle mode's probably a little bit better. And again, see, it's a matter of getting these bits right here properly lined up so she can actually balance. It's really kind of unfortunate because, you know, in terms of a scale, like I said, here's Jack. I mean, that's not a bad scale for a motorcycle and a human. Jack's probably just a little bit too big. But in general, it's not absolutely horrible in terms of her vehicle mode. Her robot mode just really is underwhelming to me. And the transformation really is kind of a fiddly mess, kind of, especially with this bit right here, because it doesn't really seem to tab anything. It's not locked into place or pegged in or pinned in or anything. So it's really kind of unfortunate. Now, in terms of a recommendation, I would say that you could pick her up if you have, you know, an extra $6 that you just want to waste. If you go to, you know, Toys R Us or Walmart or whatever, and there's no other Transformer Prime figures or anything else that you want to spend money on, but you see her, yeah, I guess at that point in time you could get her. But other than that, I would probably actually pass on this figure. So until next time, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.